Good morning. It's August 29th, Saturday morning. Here we are for Coffee Talk. I'm super excited to talk to you guys today. And actually, I'm not going to be doing most of the talking. We have Randi on here who has an awesome transformation. I'll show you. Actually, I'll pop up her picture real quick so you can see some of her awesome results, which I'm so excited to talk to her about. Let me pull this up. But in the meantime, I just want to encourage everybody to actually, and I know this is, I'm not saying this to belittle anybody. I'm saying it about myself too, right? To actually listen to the monthly mindset and the monthly fix and the mindset membership. They're amazing. They're amazing. And if you canceled your membership, bring it back because you end up getting all the previous months too. And it's so worth listening to them because they're spot on for the season that we're in because it's monthly. You are like they'll bring up things that are going on right now that would be a struggle right now. And they also give you awesome recipes for right now. So right now we have fall coming up and they're going to be giving you fall recipes, yummy, delicious food, great swaps, wonderful treats. But you'll also get that you'll get that mindset around food and when you need it the most. Does that make sense? So I highly recommend it. If you've never been part of it, I think there's also like a free trial, a 30-day free trial. Check it out. You got it. Trust me, it's so worth it. Lynette says also Alana does office hours twice a month. Yes. Okay. Alana does office hours twice a month, she said. And also both Autumn and Alana will interview people and go over their tracker. And in those conversations, we learn so much because it's not just the education of the program, it's how people truly implement it in their life. And hearing their tips for those people is awesome. It's so awesome. So here's Randi's picture. Let's bring up Randi's picture. Randi, we're going to bring her on here and she's going to talk to, look at that transformation. Isn't that solid? Solid transformation. Yeah. Give her an applause. Love it. Love it. So Randi, go ahead and unmute yourself and we're going to bring you up on here. And just do me a favor. Tell me, I didn't say anything about you. I'm going to let you explain everything about yourself. I want you to share a little bit about yourself and your background. You can share, how you did tell me at one point, like you got started and you struggled a little bit, came back. So, but tell me what life was like way before you were ever introduced to Beachbody.
Okay. So before I was introduced to Beachbody, I was a waitress and I played soccer. Even as an adult, I played soccer my whole life, basketball, softball. I actually just stopped playing soccer and softball a few years ago because I was getting injured and I was getting mad that I couldn't do my Beachbody workouts. So before Beachbody, I was very athletic my whole life. And probably when I got pregnant, I have two kids, one who.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear her? Uh-oh, she's frozen. It's all right.
And that was when I.
Hold on one second, Randi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I don't know why, but the sound left. So we didn't hear the last minute of what you said. Oh, no. We heard that you had two children. And then I think that was it. So you can start back from there.
Okay. So long story short, I was an athletic person growing up my whole life. After I had my two kids, I just kind of stopped. I couldn't get back into doing it because I physically and mentally wasn't there. And then, when I eventually was introduced to Beachbody, then that's when I got my life kind of back to where I am now.
So did you not, when you said you stopped, you're saying when you had children, you stopped playing the sports that you love? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I tried and I wasn't as fit. I couldn't, I had no energy. I mentally was just like, I don't feel like doing it, which is not me.
Yeah. I haven't actually heard anybody talk about this before, so I'm really, really excited to hear this. So you're saying after you got started with your workout programs and felt like you got some strength back, and then you kind of had the confidence to go play again with other, like on a team?
Yes.
So awesome. That is so awesome, for real. I mean, think about it. If that was something that you absolutely loved, and you know, I get it. When you have kids, I mean, your role changes, your season changes, you know, but to feel like you weren't able to do it because you weren't fit enough, and then this has changed your life enough to be able to go back into it. I love that. I love that. So tell me, what even made you interested though? Like, how did you find out about joining or doing Beachbody programs?
My cousin, who was younger than me, always posted her working out
Mm.
and following a nutrition plan. And I kept seeing it and I kept seeing it. And we're not the closest cousins, but I just kept saying how I felt. And my mother said, Did you see Brianna's posts? She could probably help you." I said, "Yeah, I'm going to." But my mom kind of pushed me into reaching out to my cousin. And that was it. Once I did, she's still my coach.
That's awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so what was the first program you ever got started with?
21-day fix.
Nice. That's good. That's good. And so you went right into your nutrition and your fitness at the same time?
I did. This was back when you could buy the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to do bod.
Yeah.
So I did, and it was a little overwhelming at first. I never ever had a nutrition program to follow. I've always done it in the past on my own, and it's worked.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I did the 21-day fix. I did the containers, the meal plan, and that was my first program.
Did you do Shakeology at first also?
I did.
Awesome. So I love that you're like, well, I never had to follow it. You know, it's funny because sometimes we just have to shake it up. If we can't, you know, even if something worked for us in the past, our mind might not be, we might need something new, right? Like for me, I need something new every once in a while. Oh, Randy's frozen again. I hope that's not my internet. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Sorry, Randy. I can see you now. Now you're moving.
Okay, I'm gonna join on my phone. I think
Okay.
it's probably just my laptop.
Oh, all right. That's fine. No biggie. And don't stress. We're all here. Guys, in the group chat, after listening to just a little bit of Randy's story, if you guys have questions throughout her telling her story, let me know. What is burning in your mind? Like, what do you want to ask her? And Randy, everybody's giving you some congrats. Great job. Great job. Amazing results. It's awesome. I love everybody on here. I'll let you pull that up before I ask you any more questions. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, guys, put in the chat, and if you don't know where the chat is, just dig around. You'll find it. Oh, look at that. Amy's on here too. Hey, Amy, hope you're feeling better. And Kelly, Courtney, Samantha, and Britannia. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let me know when you have it up, and I'll change up the spotlight view.
It's installed. I had to reinstall it.
Okay, that's fine.
My kids needed the Lego app, so I had.
Well, that's okay. I'm just going to ask you more. That's fine. But I am going to ask you more questions while you're pulling that up.
Sure.
But don't stress if it's not coming up right away. So do you remember, and I know this might be a long time ago, do you remember your results with the first time you did 21-day fix?
Yes. I actually didn't measure. I do inches now and I measure because I think it's very important. So I didn't know that the first time around, or didn't think it was that important, which it is. But my first round, I lost 12 pounds.
That's awesome. And is that when you started to feel confidence to come back to playing sports again?
Yes.
That's cool. I really honestly think that is one of the coolest things. You know, hearing about people's results, their weight loss, the inches lost, clothing fitting better. And I'm not taking away from the clothing fitting better because I think that is a major win for all of us. But to be able to do the things that we want to do physically, but have been holding ourselves back or just haven't been able to, some of my, like playing sports again, that's amazing. I personally got back into dancing after I started feeling confident and feeling like I had the energy to be able to do it. You know, a lot of people are afraid to step in the gym when they don't feel fit, which is like almost like an oxymoron, right? But when the thing that we provide is giving people that opportunity to do it at home and not have to worry about feeling insecure or being around other people or having others watch us, you know? So I think that's a really big thing. I've also talked to people who've been able to ride a bike again. Literally, they weren't able to ride a bike because they were too overweight, or get into a roller coaster with their children. That's another one. Like they were never able to even get on the roller coaster. So these are all things that I think are major, major, major. And I have some comments on here. Britannia said, congrats, Amy, on 5-star. What? Courtney said, you look amazing. And they want to know, are you doing muscle burns fat right now?
I just finished that last week and I'm on advanced.
Awesome. How hard is advanced?
It's hard, but I have to say I love it.
I do too.
Yeah, I did the first week, and you know, I couldn't, the first time I ever did this, I couldn't work out in front of my husband because just, I don't know, comments and just, I couldn't. And now it's just like he has his coffee, scrolls on his phone while I'm working out in front of him. Like, so I'm just sitting there like cursing or whatever, like, oh my God, this sucks. And he's like, oh, you don't like this program? I'm like, no, it's amazing. I just, it's so hard. Like I'm sweating after the warm up. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's such a good hard. It's awesome. So here are some questions rolling in, and these are important questions because I know it's a huge part of your story. One of them is, what was your mindset starting the nutrition? Like when you first started, what was your mindset, and how did you like stay on track?
So what I did the very first time was, because they didn't have all this, the PDFs and stuff when I first started. So I actually whoops. I don't know if, there we go. I'm just gonna turn off.
No problem.
Okay, you can still see me?
Yes, I can still see you.
Okay.
I'm just going to remove your other one.
Okay, I was echoing, that's why.
Yeah, there we go. Got it. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first time I wrote, I did all of my reds or proteins. I wrote it on a piece of paper, the top of the paper, colored it red, and wrote the entire list. And I did that with every section, every type of, you know, your yellows, your purples, etc. And I actually taped them on my cabinets in the kitchen. And that's how, and on the, I had a top sheet that told me how much I can have of everything. And so that's how I did it the first time, and how I stayed consistent with my nutrition plan, because every time I walked in the kitchen, there it was. These are the foods that I can eat. This is how much I can eat of it. And I would just write down in a notebook I kept in the kitchen of what I already ate.
Love that. Okay. So on the notebook, it was like 1 page per day type thing, like a smaller notebook. Is that what you did?
Yeah, with the smaller notebook.
Okay, cool. I love that. And now how long okay, let's go back to the next question, because this one is like part of your story. It says, are you also, no, not that question. Did you have a plateau at all? If so, how did you navigate that?
I think, I mean, there's definitely times where I did plateau, but I wasn't looking to lose any more weight. I always got to a point where I didn't lose the weight that not as much as I wanted, but I felt comfortable where I was. is probably the inches lost, or maybe it was just how my clothes fit. I always I'm about 5'8". And so for me, I'm supposed to be in the 150, 155 range. And I would love to be that. But it's hard for me to get there.
Mhm.
And right now I'm in the high, well, mid to high 160s. And I got to say, I'm super happy with where I am and how I feel.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to have that goal of 150. And if I do plateau, I got to look at what I'm eating, how am I sleeping? Because 9 times out of 10, it's more like stress or my sleep that I'm lacking, or I'm not drinking enough water. So when I do adjust those things, that plateau, it's gone. And I try not to keep in my head about this plateau. Oh my God, I'm not losing. I'm not losing. What am I doing wrong? I try not to stress over that, because that's what's keeping me plateaued, is that stress.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a spiral, right? And it's funny because we don't think about those three things a lot, especially if we're like doing the container system. I mean, 2B mindset drills it in your head to have enough water, and maybe even sleep if you pay close enough attention. But in ultimate portion fix, sometimes because we're focused on those containers, sometimes we don't think about the other ones. But it's true. Your sleep, super important, and stress are linked together. You're going to be more stressed if you're not getting enough sleep. And water is also incredibly important to everything else, including weight loss, including energy, including digestion, everything, right? And so you're right. I'm looking at my journey right now. I need to be upping my water as you're talking. I'm like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this week I went to bed late every night. Mm-hmm. Yep. Need to change that. So totally appreciate that. Those pictures that we have of you, is that from a recent transformation? Like what's the time frame there?
So the
Here,
before pictures,
I'm gonna pull it up. These.
yes, the top pictures are my before pictures. Those I took February 15th of this year,
Okay.
2020.
And that's before you did 80-day obsession, maybe?
Yes, I started 80-day obsession the next day, and I think I was 6 weeks into 80-day obsession, and
With
10
those
rounds out.
with the second pictures, you mean?
The second pictures are after I finished 80-day obsession, 10 rounds, and MBF.
Wow. Awesome. I love that. That's really great. And so you used the container system the whole time?
I did.
And did you do timed nutrition the whole time?
I did time nutrition as best as I could do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, a lot of
what does that look like to you? Does that look like, you didn't eat before you worked out, or like what does that look like to you?
so for me, I get up, I have my coffee. There's no like negotiation. If I wake up and I have somewhere to be and I don't have time and I can't get my workout in, maybe no coffee until later.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't eat. It depends on the workout.
Okay.
Um, I know that there's certain workouts I can't get in without eating.
Okay.
So a typical, probably throughout this whole process, I wake up, I make my coffee, have a cup, maybe two, and I'll eat. Sometimes it's within an hour, sometimes it's 2 hours later.
Okay.
And then I will eat, for me, I have my red, my yellow, my green. And I tried to eat that yellow first. And then I work out probably 45 minutes later.
Okay.
Like I said, again, if it's lifting, if it's upper body, lower body, I might do it a half hour after. If it's cardio, definitely 45 minutes to an hour later. Definitely. And then after I work out, I have, and also sometimes I do energize. I do take energize. my pre-workout. It just depends on the day.
Yeah. Okay.
So I work out, and then after my workout, if it's normally anything other than cardio, I take my my post-workout. And then an hour from there, I'll have my Shakeology.
Okay.
And
Love
then from there, it's probably about every 2 hours. If I have an early day, I'll stretch to every 3 hours. But yeah, every 2 to 3 hours, I'll have I think it's three meals after that.
Awesome. So tell me, when did you decide in this journey? First of all, how long? This was a while ago when you did 21 Day Fix. I mean, that was a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, probably 2015.
Okay. Yeah. So at what point did you decide, wow, this coaching gig sounds pretty good. Let me try that.
So I did 21 Day Fix, got my Shakeology, canceled after 30 days. And was like, no, I'm good. I lost 12 pounds, whatever. I'm good. I can maintain this. And months went by and I couldn't. So after I had my kids, my last one was born probably the end of 2015. I reached back out to my cousin and was like, okay, I'm ready to give this another shot. She talked me into coaching, but the reason I was so hesitant about coaching was because everything seemed too good to be true. Like it really did, like all the discounts I get on the products, and just, I can get an accountability group. Like everything, and I lose weight and I feel good about myself and I can get paid. Like, I don't know. This is just crazy to me. So, she's like, no, why would I steer you wrong? I'm your cousin. And I'm like, that is true. Like, I do. I trust her. Like a good seed. Like, I know that. And that's when I joined, more for just for me, for the accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to answer Courtney real quick, but can you do me a favor, Randy? Can you just put your phone down? I'm getting sick.
I'm sorry.
Much better. Okay. So, Courtney, sorry about that. Courtney, I do bring people on here Saturdays who are not coaches. So that was a really good question. And we do send this video to our customers as well. So, and I invite customers to get on here live as well. So, it was a really good question. She was like, oh no, she is a coach because she's on here, but no, I'm not always interviewing coaches. So go ahead and keep drinking your coffee. But yes, that's true. So the other part of the question you already answered. She said, are you also coaching? And if so, has that helped you stay on track? You can answer it again, but you kind of already answered it.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. And do you think it's see, like when I talk about how I think coaching has completely held me accountable. Honestly, I used to yo-yo 30 pounds up and down constantly, right? After doing this, I've been able to keep it off for years. Now, lockdown did me in. And I'm not blaming lockdown, I'm blaming me, but man, I gained 15 pounds very quickly. I mean, very, very quickly. I'm down a couple pounds now, but I'm working on that 12 that I still have. So that was, other than pregnancy always, like, I gain a lot of weight during pregnancy, but for years, I've been able to keep that off and never. So I'm still super happy and this is going to sound crazy. I'm still super happy that I gained only 15 pounds. If it weren't for coaching, that would have turned into 30 so fast. Like so fast. I have done it many times before, many times. My body I'm really good at gaining weight. Right? So I'm really happy about being a coach and having that to hold me accountable. Now, what is the piece of coaching that holds me accountable? I can break it down to probably just every vital behavior we have, right? Each of our vital behaviors holds us accountable. So, obviously being a product of the product, but then inviting other people, you can chime in here too, but inviting in itself holds you accountable by asking other people if they want to join you. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel the same way, Randy?
I agree. Absolutely.
And do you feel like just inviting, following up, bringing somebody on board. I think all of these pieces just make you want to be a better version of yourself and be the example.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
And so, yeah, I don't know one coach who has said that it hasn't held them accountable. If you are actively coaching, it's going to hold you more accountable to your goals, your own fitness and health goals. I truly believe that. And because of our products being super healthy in themselves, like it's not like we're selling like super quick fixes and just random things that you I'm not going to get into it, but we're literally, yeah, we sell Shakeology, but Shakeology is food. I mean, read those ingredients. It's one of the healthiest, probably the healthiest thing that you put in your body. So and it's not a quick fix either. It is something that works in synergy with all the other things. So eating healthy, having your vegetables, both programs are super plant-based programs, right? Having your workouts every day. I mean, this is a lifestyle that we sell to people. It might not sound like it at first to them because we want them to actually want to do it. Right? So we're showing them like, hey, look, you could do this. You could lose 12 pounds in 21 days, which is true. It's not untrue, but we're not like, hey, do you want to get into these really super great habits that are really hard to get into? And it takes a lot of work, and it's gonna, you have to like work it in, and results are slow. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you have to tell somebody the results for them to be excited, right? But being in the program, we make creating those habits fun. Like, that's what we do. The workouts in themselves are fun. Even, you find a program, you relate to the trainer, you're like, damn, this is actually fun. I'm killing myself, but it's fun, right? And so I love that part. And I don't even know where I was going with that tangent. I really don't know. But Randi, you're super awesome. I love your story. Tell me something other than, we know that you got back into sports, although you stopped because you were injuring yourself, which, hey, when you're 36, like you gotta know what's going on, right? You can't just, my husband's telling my toddler, shh. I'm like, what? You want me to be quiet? You got to know your body, right? I think that's really important. I love to dance, but every time I go to do a size workout, I have like a week of back issues. And it's not because size, I don't know anybody else who has back issues while doing size. It's because I go 200% whip my body around, and then I'm like, oh, I can't walk. So, you got to know your body. If you love something so much, you might be overdoing it in that area. I don't know. So maybe Randi's like the hardcore athlete that like beats everybody up when she's out on the field. I don't know.
I only know 100%, so I'm the same way. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
That's true. So Randi, tell me, how has, in general, and you can bring up coaching and the income from coaching as well, how has life in general changed for you? You've been doing this for 5 years, and obviously you're still here. You don't want to go back, right? So how has this changed you, and how has it helped you in your family dynamics as well?
I think the biggest thing is it changed me mentally, physically, emotionally, all for the better. Now that I have kids, just the way we eat. Don't get me wrong, my kids eat mac and cheese and pizza and chicken nuggets because they're like so picky. They look at, I mean, I don't know, they look at pizza. If it's not cheese pizza or pepperoni, like, then it's disgusting, but it's still a pizza. So I'll introduce them to the foods that I'm making, and they make a face and like, that smells gross, that looks gross. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'll introduce them. I'll make them try what I'm eating. We'll have family dinners together. Although there's a lot of tears most of the time, I still, I would have never did that before. Before, I actually would make them what they wanted, and I'd eat their leftovers, and that was a big problem. So now it's, we're all eating better, and I have to get my workout in. The kids know, like, don't talk to mommy for 30 minutes unless it's an emergency, and I'll deal with you when I'm done. Then we can do whatever you want when I'm done.
but I need this. And they know that. If mommy's cranky, she didn't work out yet. It puts me in a better mood, and I can get the whole house clean. You want to go to the park. I mean, mentally, it does wonders for me. And then I'm also I have more energy to get things done through the day, play with my kids. I'm not aggravated with my husband. So
see some kid toes now.
Yeah, one woke up. So even them now, I was coaching when that top picture was me at the end of coaching my son's basketball team. And so to be able to coach their sports and play with them and show them how to play soccer, and they're in Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, it's just, we can connect so much better. And it's been amazing. And they see me work out all the time. Sometimes they join in, sometimes they don't. God, in February, my daughter was just hitting my stomach. Mom, why are you so fat? It's another learning experience for my daughter too, to explain, things like that. And then the other day she hits my stomach. You're so skinny. No, I'm not skinny. I'm healthy. And it opens more conversations to my kids as well. Where I think if I never got into eating right, like the whole Beachbody experience, I do think my life would be much different. And really quickly, 2017, I had finished 80 Day Obsession when it came out. And that was probably the best shape I was ever in. And that October, I went to see a chiropractor, not for anything, just because I won a free thing at a fair. And so I ended up going to see the chiropractor, and he wanted me there a couple days a week. I didn't need to be there. I had great insurance. So he was bringing me in. And it turned out that he ended up tearing my intercostal ribs.
Oh, wow.
And I had a lot of damage for months. I was popping Advil and ibuprofen like every day. I didn't know what was wrong with me till I saw another chiropractor that my family knew that I didn't know about. And he had let me know what happened and said, you had no business seeing a chiropractor in the first place. So after seeing him, turn that off. After seeing him for just very few times, he told me, come when you feel you need me. And if you never need me again, that's fine, don't come. But I did come to him, and I ended up having, and I have fibromyalgia. And I was so mad at that chiropractor for what he did to me. And I held on to that. And that was the end of 2017. So from the end of there until the beginning of January 2020, I was so mad. I was eating comfort foods because look what he did to me. I can eat that ice cream. I can eat whatever, and it wasn't a fast gain. It was 2 years of gaining all that weight, because of what he did to me. And I never got over it, and things just kind of snowballed. And maybe there was a little depression. And that's when finally, 2020 January is supposed to be the greatest year. I was like, listen, I got to stop feeling sorry for myself. And, the chiropractor told me I will have a regular life again and go back to exercising, go back to eating right. And that's what I did. And that's when in February, I'm like, this has to be done. I'm coaching my kids basketball and I could barely go up and down the court. I'm like, this is crazy. So, it's definitely changed me and my family for the better. Taught us things, and here I am now. This is those transformation pictures that I did send you were, believe 5 months. They were February of this year, and then the last picture was in June of when I finished MBF. So
your story's amazing and horrible and amazing. I'm so sorry that I've had a bad experience with the chiropractor too, and I've also had another chiropractor that saved my life. So it's really amazing how you can it comes down to the person, right? So that, yeah, I can relate to that piece of it. But I love that you knew what community you could come back to. You knew that you were welcome. You knew that it could help you. You just had to make that decision to go back to it, right? And now I don't know your story with coaching, but I think you said that's when you recommitted to coaching as well in February, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so you then knew that coaching, the activity of coaching, would also help you come back, get on track, and all of those things. So your story is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And yeah, Lynn said your journey is so relatable, and she was off for years, on and off for years. And I think so many of us have been. But I feel like once it clicks and you stick with, like, there's this longevity to it. I do believe that. I feel like there's a longevity to it. And yes, there's always at some point going to be something that throws you off. Even our top coaches, you'll hear their stories, and sometimes there's something that throws you off, whether it's the hard things, right? A miscarriage. That's a hard thing. It's the hard things, that an injury, like a chronic injury that makes, that can throw you off. Even a short-term injury can really throw you off. And it's because it's very mental, right? It's very mental. Being in these habits, these healthy habits, is a mental thing. And that's why I encourage you to do the things like the membership mindset, the monthly fix, because it's the mindset. It's staying engaged. It's being a part of that journey. I shared last night this quote, and I just love it. I'm going to bring it up again. He talks about it's from James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits. And he wrote, the key if you want to build habits that last is to join a group where the desired behavior is the normal behavior. And that is so true in what we do. The problem is when we fall off, we hide. Right? We hide. We're like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to be reminded of what I really truly think is going to help me. I just want to be in my misery. And that happens. But the first step is to reach out, is to just make that decision to reach out and get engaged again. And I feel like at some point it's also like this, you almost have to swallow your pride and swallow your, like, I need to break this cycle, right? This mental cycle of pitying ourselves, of being upset, anger. All of these things will hold us back big time. So somehow we have to get out of that cycle. And that very first thing I truly believe to get out of that cycle is to reach out to other people. To reach out. There's a book called The Happiness Advantage, and he talks greatly about depression, about what makes people truly happy. And it comes down to it is people. Reach out to people, to human beings. Do not hide behind whatever it is that you're hiding behind, right? And to reach out to other people. And I truly believe that this is our community. This is what we do. We're looking to welcome people back, welcome new people. We're like, come give me a hug. I'm here. Hug me. Whatever that hug is, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't like hugging a ton of people, but like bring it in. Let's do it. Let's talk. See, Samantha, there's that piece of me. Hitting things. So anyway, I love your story, Randy. I really appreciate you. I know I kind of kept this long, but we're going to get off now. So I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on here, to sharing your story, sharing your struggles, and really just putting it all out there. So thank you. I appreciate that. And I think everybody else feels the same way. I'm like speaking for everybody here.
Thank you for having me, and good luck with everything. You stay in this community, stay with your support system, and it's going to be great.
Thank you so much. Everybody's saying thank you as well. Have an awesome day, guys, and make sure you share this video to your customers, your coaches, your downline, your friends, your family, whoever you want to share it with. And I'll get the YouTube link out later, probably tomorrow. All right. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.